You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
I'm Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
Well, there indeed, we are live. Finally live with a couple of technical snafus over at the High Five.
Never technical snafus. Don't say
well,
that.
You know, it happens. Showtime Bobby Chappie right here. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everyone. The Iceman, Rodney Rodriguez, that's my man to the left there, coming off a big week there up in the snowy Midwest.
Ooh, man, cold. I got there, it was 7.
It's 80 here.
Yeah, I tell you, man, the whole Christmas thing, it kind of loses. Now, I mean, not totally, but when it's 80 degrees, I'm like,
it's hard to get into it, isn't it?
I know, man. It's like I walked out today, and our house stays really cold. I mean, we don't turn any heat on in here, so it's really cold. And you know, it was cold this morning. I walked out, and man, hot, sweating. Had to do a little work outside, and I'm like, man, this just doesn't quite feel like December to me. So
no, it hadn't felt like December. Well, I mean, it felt like December at the Derby, but hadn't felt like December since I got back. That's for damn sure.
High of I think they're projecting about 80 degrees here. So you guys can let us know what the temperature is going to be where you are, because we know that there's going to be folks checking in from around the country. And although, I mean, they told me in Springfield that it was going to be, I think, 70. So, you know, for Springfield, Missouri, a 70-degree Christmas.
That's pretty cold. That's pretty hot for them.
Yeah, that's pretty warm. So that's what they'll be doing. But man, happy holidays, everybody. Here we are. I mean, we're to the end of the year, and 2026 is upon us, and let's rock and roll and get excited, and you know, finish this thing out with a exciting #Real Race Talk program tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, there's lots of stuff to talk about. As I try to working on trying to figure out which microphone or which mouse to use.
So on the show tonight, we do have coming up, man, what a way to end last week. Just a horrible, just a tragic loss of life right there with Greg Biffle and his family. So coming up here in a little bit, Eric Wallace is going to join us. Great friend of the show, great family friend of the show. And there's actually a real cool story about him. I mean, that was kind of his start into NASCAR, was working with Roush and with Biff. So Eric's going to share some of his memories with us. Bruce Wright is the team owner in Texas that we're going to talk to bottom of the hour-ish or so. Some major changes coming to one of the most dominant. I mean, when you talk about trucks in Texas, they have been the team, you know, in the most recent past. So big changes coming up there. We'll reveal that. And then 7 o'clock, the big breaking news that happened about an hour and a half ago. The STEM schedule is coming out, Bobby. So we'll get a good look at what's going on with South Texas IMCA Modified Series. That one, I wasn't expecting that this morning when I woke up. And I got a text from Rachel. She's like, we're ready to go. Can we come on? I said, you damn right. You damn right you can. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I actually for once got to see it early.
Yeah.
I got her to send it to me earlier today. So thanks, Rachel, for looking out for your boy here and hooking me up a little early. So
yeah, so we'll break all of that down, and whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. I thought about what would be really cool, but then you know it would drag out. We probably have a 6-hour show. Is like what should every racetrack in the south and central part of this region, what should they want for Christmas? But I think the list would be endless, on and on and on, if we started that, and it would probably get out of control.
Number one thing would be an envelope of people, an envelope of money. Number two thing, people stop bitching. That'd be the first two things that they want on their Christmas list.
And maybe some, you know, weather that's not going to throw, you know, monkey wrenches into everything, but that's just kind of part of the deal. But anyway, just got a text from our man, James Cole. Of course, our show presented by On Demand Shirts. That is the official apparel provider of Revved Up, of many people. And again, I think that's one thing that we can kind of maybe wait and do that next week. But I think that one of the things in 2026 was the STEM series is one of them very much, that On Demand Shirts really becoming a force in in South and Central Texas racing to where, I mean, they're all over everything, and they're a major reason that tracks are succeeding and series are doing well, because they're really all in. They're not Jerry Jones all in. They are all into doing really cool things, and those folks should be applauded.
All in. I thought Jerry Jones was just, knee deep in everything, knee deep in them honey holes.
Well, he's knee deep in that. I noticed the other day when the Cowboys are getting set to play, what's he concerned about? Pato O'Ward and Jamie Little with IndyCar. So I guess that answers that question. I assumed that had to be somewhat of a Dallas Cowboy presentation, racing around right there at AT&T Stadium. But Jerry's knee deep in that one too, and there you go. Jerry's making money. Football team's not winning. Football team's going to be home for the holidays again, but Jerry's market.
The football team might not be winning, but there's plenty of Dallas Cowboy T-shirts underneath them Christmas trees.
There's plenty of.
Granted, they're on clearance now.
There's plenty of the Dallas Cowboy shirts.
There's still plenty of shirts underneath them trees.
Plenty of Cowboy shirts in this house that I've bought. I mean, there's Dallas Cowboy helmets all across the back over here that I have purchased. So that's what it's all about for those guys. But I'm getting pretty excited about that race. I still wish that IndyCar was heading to TMS, because I think that's an oval that just works really well for IndyCar. But the fact that they're going to be running around over there, although I will tell you that's going to be parking is not the most friendly when it comes to that place.
Well, parking's not. There's 3 or 4 stadiums right there together. There ain't parking for worth anything.
Yeah,
all the parking lots are going to have all the spectator stuff, food and vendors and all kind of stuff.
People are going to be clamoring to get to the Walmart. It used to be
across from Jerry World,
yeah. Way back when that place first opened, you could sneak your way in there and go shopping at Walmart for about 10 hours, and they'd let you park in there. But they wised up to that now. But it's gotten even tighter down there. So I'm sure that they've got a plan in place. But I still wish that it was a TMS thing. I'd like to see if they were going to be down there. I'd like to see them do a race on the streets of Arlington, as they say, and then a TMS oval race. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was crazy when they had 2 races in Texas, one at TMS and one in Houston, back-to-back weekends. But
yeah. Well, IndyCar still clamoring along there. What are they right now? The number 3 ranked, number 4 ranked, most watched series in the United States, behind the Cup Series, the O'Reilly Series, and hell, I guess, and they're one ahead of them too. I think there's one ahead of IndyCar still. So maybe that'll generate some interest. Yeah. Maybe that'll generate some interest for him. But anyway, we can touch on the NASCAR lawsuit. That, of course, was settled as well. I haven't seen a lot of financials of that, but I'm not really. I don't know.
Ever since all they announced outside that courtroom is it was beneficial for everybody, and that's it. We hadn't seen anything since then.
Yeah.
And even heard it other than Denny Hamlin talking a little smack about telling all the homers to, he's getting wants his payback slips. But I mean, other than that, we hadn't heard much of anything about that lawsuit since they came out and said it's over with, it's done with.
Yeah, I was kind of checked out on it a little bit, to where, I mean, there's a lot of that it is interesting to hear some of those numbers and what drivers are paid, and the numbers, the amount of money that NASCAR brings in. And I mean, I guess it's surprising, but it really shouldn't be, because that they're the entity that kind of runs everything. But I don't know, I got a little checked out of it, and honestly, the whole thing was, after it was done, when you had Hendrick and Roger Penske and all these guys, it's a great day for NASCAR, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, why'd y'all sign the documents in? If you guys are the pillars, if you guys are the benchmarks of how everything's done, how come it took these new guys to stand up and do something? You guys sat there on your thumbs being company guys. I don't know. That irritated me a little bit.
Well, I don't know. It's still rocked the foundation of the sport, because you and I both have had people that never talked to us about NASCAR calling and texting and asking us in person, why is Michael Jordan suing NASCAR? Because it started making national headlines.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I think it's all for the good. I mean, I think that good is going to come out of it. Yeah. For the teams, I think that I hear that the sport's going to radically change. I think it'll change on the inner workings of it, probably when it comes to negotiations. One thing that I think is going to be really interesting is like when a driver comes up on a contract year. I think that it may turn into more like with some of the stick and ball stuff, to where there's more negotiation, to where it's not like here's what you're going to get paid, to where some of the residuals from whether it be the manufacturers or sponsors or all that, we're going to start hearing a little more context about some of that, I think. But I think the on track product, I mean, we get the date, or I guess we get the Bowman Gray, and it'll still come up, but I don't think that it's going to be
we're going to see anything major till 2027.
Yeah, I don't.
Hell, they haven't even told us what the playoff format's going to be.
I know.
We know there's going to be one. We just don't know. We there's two things that we know, and the two things that we've heard is that A, there's still going to be one, and B, it's not going to be a one race championship anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is still up in the air.
Yeah, I think it's a little odd that we're sitting here. What are we? A month and a half away from the start of the season, and we still don't know that. And I think a little part of that may be on NASCAR's part with, what we just went through for the last however long.
The dust settle on the the dust settle on the lawsuit.
I think that possibly they are saying, all right, you think you have the upper hand? We'll let you know when we're ready. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the fact that everybody was hand in hand, high-fiving, and everybody was excited. I mean, that's a good thing. I'm just glad it's over. Let's get to the racing stuff, and let's talk racing. That's what we need to be talking about, not civil stuff. I don't enjoy sports for civil trials, lawsuits, politics. I come to sports to escape all that shit.
Yeah, I mean there's politics in sports, but know your audience when you show up at a joint. So
there it is. Absolutely. Let's go diving in. Let's hit the hotline. We had the news last week. It was the end of last week. The very sudden passing of one of the great NASCAR. I mean, multiple time champion, multiple series, just a overall great character when it came to NASCAR. And say character because there were different variations of this guy that you would get. It was Greg Biffle, passing away in an airplane crash along with family members and some other folks. And joining us on the hotline, courtesy of Audiovisual Consultations, a dude that got his start working out with Biffle in the world of NASCAR, is our man, Big E, Eric Wallace. Happy belated birthday, my brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely, man. So you guys go burn the town down last night for the birthday, or are you past those days?
I'm past them days. They got the gray hairs and getting a little older now.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
They didn't stop us at the Derby that one year, but that was 5 years ago. There's a lot of changing in 5 years.
So, you ain't lying.
So talk about it, man. Tell us about it. What you been up to lately? It's been a hot minute since Roddy and I talked to you, but we'll get into Biff here in a minute. But tell us about what's been going on in your life, man.
Yeah, so we did. I did a lot of late model stock racing this year. We ran at Tri-County and Anderson Motor Speedway in North and South Carolina. We ended up third in the points at Tri-County, which is pretty successful because their limited division there is pretty stiff. I mean, we average 20 to 25 cars a night with some car store teams that are mixed in there with it. So to finish third in points there was pretty good. We did that, and then my brother-in-law Kyle DeBow has been running the Crown Vic, so we're busy with that, and won the championship with that at Tri-County. We did that this year, and then we finished it off with my house catching on fire and burning down. So went from one extreme to the other.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to avoid that if at all possible. But so that's a very Wallace move, and I'm going to make light of this because we're family here, so we can joke around about it. That's a very Wallace move that you're out there racing your asses off, and the house burns down, man. That another story for the books there for the great racing family.
Man, it's crazy. Like I don't wish it on anybody, and I hope nobody has to go through it because it's definitely been a whirlwind of the last month and a half. But we were actually at the racetrack, and I was actually getting ready to race. Whenever every driver has some kind of ritual they do before they get in a car, whether they realize it or not. But mine is always from my NASCAR days was before I go. I jumped out in front of a car for a living for so many years that mine was always texting my wife. I was fixed to get in my phone, and she said the house is on fire. Well, what the hell could this be? And they were having a little Halloween party at the house with some kids, and they had their friends over and stuff. And they send me a picture comes through, and I'm like, that's some AI stuff there. It looked fake. And then I couldn't get a hold of nobody, so now I'm freaking out. Well, then finally I get a hold of somebody, and they said, yeah, it's on fire and it's burning down. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, I'm an hour and a half away. You don't know how to expect or what to think. So I jumped in the truck and told everybody, I'm like, I got to go. And
So you didn't run the race. You actually
no,
left?
yeah, we didn't get to run the race. Like, it was literally our time was up to race.
Okay.
And when I saw that, I'm like, I got to go. So when I got there and I got to the house, there were so many fire trucks. There were 38 fire trucks and 15 tanker trucks of water that was trying to put the house out. I had to run a mile from my driveway to get to my house. And then I get there and I just see all these kids and my wife sitting in the grass just watching this house burn. It's just, like I said, it's something I hope nobody ever has to experience.
It's horrible.
And when I think, we lost everything. When we left that night, the kids had a Halloween costume on. My wife had a Halloween costume on. No shoes, no socks, and got my truck. And that's all.
It's horrible, man. So sorry to hear that.
So, but at the end of the day, everybody was fine. Kids are ready for Christmas. Everybody's healthy, and things can be rebuilt, things can be replaced, and everybody's safe. That's the main thing. So, just got to look at the positive end of it all.
Absolutely.
So obviously your year ends on that note, and then obviously last week you get the devastating news about Biffle. Talk about some of the good times you had, because I remember back, years ago, you and I were both a whole lot younger, and I had to stand on a case of Red Bull next to Sean Pete to be able to be the same size as you guys were at the radio booth at TMS, man. So talk about some of them good old days. Actually, start with how it got started. Like, how'd you end up at Roush, and how'd you end up on that team?
Yeah, so I started at Roush in 2007 and just knew somebody that knew somebody and got me into the door. And I basically was up front with them, told them, hey, I've been around racing my life, didn't know much about it, but here I am ready to go. So I started working in the finish fab shop, doing crush panels and, hanging bodies and stuff. And at the time, Greg Irwin was a crew chief for Biffle, and they were looking for some help on the road and behind the wall and stuff like that. And I told him, like, hey, I'm willing to go travel with you guys. So he took a shot on me, and that's where I really kicked off my racing career in NASCAR, was on that team. And at the time, I really didn't realize that was just the people on that team. And you don't realize it until later on, until I was thinking about the other day after I heard the tragic news. I was like, man, that was the team. Like, from 2007, 2010, like, we were family. We weren't just a team, we were family. Like, I still talk to probably 85% of those people there all the time. Like, you didn't realize it back then. You thought you're just trying to push your way through, trying to make become somebody, and didn't realize that those people there, that we were all that close, and it was just such a good team that we had. And we won several races together, and I think we could have done better, but unfortunately, at that time, Ralph Fenway as a whole was struggling, and then they started breaking us up, trying to make the teams better, and it just didn't realize how good that team was back then.
Yeah. Eric, one of the things with Greg Biffle, just in the conversations that I had with him, and I posted this on social media, to where it's like, I talked to him several times. It was very rare that we talked about racing, because it was like we talked about pets, we talked about family, we talked about whatever. Here in the later years, once he kind of stepped away a little bit, we saw that humanitarian side a little bit more, where he had the time. Kind of talk to that part, because the Greg Biffle that we're remembering right now, that truly was Greg Biffle. That's no facade. That is that dude. He just genuinely cared for people.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he was just a very curious person. Like, he would walk through the shop and he would spend 30, 45 minutes on my toolbox, just like, hey, what's this? Why are they doing this? Just curious of what's going on, and just wanted to learn about it. Everything was just, everything intrigued him, and it was just, he was very interested in stuff. Now, I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Like, he was a fierce competitor too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard Kyle Busch on the radio, but they ran a close race.
Yeah.
There was times that we've been fired several times on the radio, but listen, at the end of the day, if we raced on Saturday night, you better be at his house by 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, because that boat was fired up and he was taking the whole crew on the boat, and we were spending all day at his house. So, I mean, it's just the way he was. I mean, he was just a fierce competitor. He wanted to do good. He wanted everybody else to do good, and it's just, he just expected 100% out of everybody because he wanted to give you 100%. But like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, tell how many times we've been to his house and just hung out and.
Yeah.
So Eric, I don't know if you can hear me. I may be cutting out on my side. You're probably a little young to remember the good old days that we talk about at Longhorn Speedway, but talk about taking each win with Biffle and with Roush as a whole. Like they always say, enjoy every win like it's your first because you don't know when the next one's going to be. Talk about that. Walk us through some of that mentality.
Man, I preach that I preach that to my brother-in-law. I preach that to anybody that wins races, and especially when you get on a winning streak, I'm like, you better act like that's your last win because you never know when your last one's going to be. I mean, I get people tell me all the time, man, when you win in victory lane, it's a party. I'm like, hell yeah, you don't know when your last one's going to be, so we're going to celebrate it
right.
like it is our last one. It's going to celebrate like it's our last day on this earth. You don't know. So I mean, and that's the way Biffle was too. Like I said, we had tons of parties at his house, and especially if we won, boy. I mean, we'd have parties at his house, and then the next day he was taking everybody for ice cream. I mean, it was a week-long thing. So he was taking everybody to the bar on a Wednesday. I mean, it was all week you were doing something if you won a race.
And people, it's like a lot of the newer folks that they don't realize, Eric, that with Biffle, I mean, that dude was a truck champion. That dude was a Xfinity, O'Reilly, Busch, whatever you want to call it, champion, and so close. You guys were so close in the Cup Series. When it comes to like the trifecta, where people talk about how that's never happened, in my opinion, that's the guy that should have gotten it. That is the guy that should have had the 3 championships.
Yep, exactly. No, I agree 100%. He's just a raw talent. I mean, he showed that when, what was it, 2019 when he won that truck race at Texas and had been in a truck in how many years? I mean, that takes talent, right? I mean, look how many people get in those trucks and can't even get around the track. So, I mean, that just shows how good of a race car driver he was.
Absolutely.
So which one stands out for you, dude? Is it hard to pick just one, or is there obviously probably the first one is one that stands out with you, but is there one in your mind that you just we got a picture at Pocono up on the screen. Well, it looks like your tall ass is right in the middle of it,
right there next to him.
Yeah, right there in the middle. But which one sticks out? Because you got one or two that that stick out above all the rest of them.
Man, I'm gonna say the first one and the second one. We won back to back, New Hampshire and Dover, and that was the first year they had the playoff races, and we won them back to back, and that was probably the two that stick out the most. And I would say probably New Hampshire, just because at the time Jimmy Johnson was the man. He had won so many races that year, and we passed him with, I think it was like 9 or 10 to go, and Biffle moved him a little bit, and when he moved him, Jimmy had moved him back or something. Well, I up until my house burned, I had a picture. Biffle's got his hand out the window, giving him the middle finger, and the car sideways, and we won that race. And it was so cool because Biffle had that picture printed out on and put in a frame for everybody. And that was just, always thought that was the coolest picture I ever had.
No, man, that's great.
I remember one time it was at TMS, and it was probably kind of a homecoming win for you. It was just a breezy ass night. And it was just nonstop. I think there was one caution out of 334 laps, and that was for a hat that had fallen out of turn number 4. And Jimmy Johnson was smoking everybody's ass. And here come Greg just slowly getting there, knocking a little bit out each lap. And then he finally comes and wins the race. I think he led like the final 100 laps or something like that. You remember that one? Were you on the team then?
No, I think I'd moved to a different team at that time, but I do remember that race.
Yeah. Eric, you kind of mentioned something there. I mean, it is a team. This is a team sport. And I know that everything has kind of evolved now where there's a lot of moving parts and pieces, but you guys, you all become family, but it really does take where you have to, you really feel kind of talk about, so you make that move over there, you become part of the biggest motorsport in the country. And then you have essentially Greg Biffle is the leader. I mean, because that's the guy that you all are working for. Talk about working with a guy that just embraces people, because that had to be for you. I mean, you were very young at that. I mean, not that you're old now, but you were very young at that point. But to fall into NASCAR or to work your way into NASCAR and then get into a situation like that with a dude like that, man, that had to really propel your career forward.
Yeah, and like I said, I was young at the time and didn't realize that that was my stepping stone, and that's what really made me successful. As NASCAR was, somebody like Biffle that expected 110% out of us, and then you had, Greg Irwin. I mean, look, we even had Marty Lindley was on the team with
Yeah.
me. He was a front end mechanic at the time. Just there was just so many good people on that team that I didn't even realize that I surrounded myself around that made me, successful in the NASCAR part, just as far as not just working on them, just as a person in general, as a hard, nosed racer. Uh, and that's what that made that team successful. Was it wasn't a bunch of engineers. There was just a bunch of racers on there. I
Yeah.
don't like to bash NASCAR or anything, but the last 5 or 6 years has kind of been engineered based and pushed and just became more corporate and politics involved. To where back then it was just racers. We were all just there to win, and
Yeah.
and that's what the thing was. Biffle pushed us to win races.
Yeah.
I think you touched on something right there it's kind of like the discussion about the good old boys are gone, and Marty's still being the crew chief in the O'Reilly series and won all those races with Connor Zillage, but I think deep down some of those the good old boy mentality and some of that stuff will outthink a computer every day when it comes to analytics and stuff on 2 tires, 4 tires, when to pit, when to not pit. So I think that it's gone a little bit, but I think that good old boy mentality is still there with a couple of these old school guys.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, you think Marty Lindley's got any engineer experience? No, he's just a racer. I mean, Rodney Childers, you think he's got engineering experience? No, he's just a hard-nosed racer from the Carolinas. It's just all they know is
Yeah.
race cars and the common sense of them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all revolves, right? I mean, what we did back in the 80s and 90s, it always comes back. So, I mean, it's just, it might come back a little different, but, the stuff comes back. So these guys
Yeah.
are just
Absolutely. Yep. So lastly for me, Eric, I mean, kind of to sum it up for you, Greg Biffle, in just a few words. I mean, you hear humanitarian, you hear hard-nosed racer, and that's a whole thing, because those are 2 very different extremes. I mean, the lasting memories that we have of him obviously was during Hurricane Helene with the tremendous work that he was doing there. Not for fame, not for anything. He was doing this shit, and people happened to figure out what he was doing. Let's kind of sum up what Greg Biffle was. Other than just a badass car racer.
Yeah, no, as I said, he was good at people. He put his money and try to help people. He didn't, just try to, keep it all to himself. He tried to help. He had animals to, the hurricane deal. I can't tell you how many businesses he had to try to help people. And I mean, that just shows that he did that. Shows where he was at in his people, and that's where he was at. And I mean, if he, with him dying, I think he would say he was successful in what he wanted to do. I mean, he wanted to help as many people as he could, and that's what he did.
Yep. Sad day
indeed. I don't want to leave on the negative, but no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, with the tragedy of the plane crash, when he was going and doing all that stuff for the hurricane stuff, I was worried about him because he was driving his helicopter every day back and forth, dropping supplies off, saving people. And I'm like, man, I hope he is, maintenance in that thing, or, doing the right things, because he was just, every day he was going back and forth. And
Yeah.
I was worried about him back then. And then when this happened, it's like, man, that's just unbelievable for him to do all that stuff. And then something like this happened.
Yep. Go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I don't want to end on the negative, but I will say, Eric, every time we talk to you, I come back to the roots there at Longhorn Speedway of Marianne, your dad, the Duke, and I finally heard that story about how that came across. But it's always good to see that next generation of racers come along and make good of themselves. And I know we've told you that before, but we're always just so damn proud of you guys, you, JC, Bailey Curry, Caden Honeycutt, all you guys that we remember from, you put your heart and soul in it since you were kids, and it's just kicking ass to see you guys still kicking ass today. So with that, just because I know you had a hell of an end to your year here, so we're proud of you,
I
dude.
appreciate it. Yeah, no, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So I guess not the most important part, but so if the house fire happened and you were at the track, so I'm assuming your race car is okay. So that means you will be racing here very, very soon, I'm thinking, in 2026.
As soon as we can get this house built, yes, sir. You know, my
All right.
dad is itching to get that thing out there.
That's why I brought that up. That's why I brought that up, because I figured he would be all over that. So great memories right there, Eric.
Well,
like
actually, hey, Eric, you know you're right, because there's a couple of times I put Rodney in some interesting AI pictures, and your dad would send me a message.
Oh,
Stop doing that. Don't bring that AI shit into this.
You should send my mom a text and ask her if she can send his AI picture that she made for him yesterday.
Oh, we need that. Yes, we need that. And I can't begin to tell you the messages I get from Jake, where he's like, "You look like a," I won't say, but it's like, yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
old
tell my
Jake.
mom to
Good
hook
old
you up.
Jake.
She'll take care of you. Then you got something to go back on.
Love it. We'll do it. All right, man. Best wishes. Like I said, let us know if we can help you with anything, when it comes to rebuilding and so forth. And Merry Christmas to you guys. I know that there's a lot going on, but we love you down here still, man, and hope we get to see you soon.
Thanks. I appreciate y'all having me. And like I said, keep the Biffle family. And then Nicole, his ex-wife, that's terrible that, that was her. And everybody in our prayers. And like I said, I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. All right, man. Be well. We'll talk to you soon. You bet. There he goes, Eric Wallace, and that was his start. I mean, think about that. You jump into the world of NASCAR and you're working for Greg Biffle. That man, that's really, really cool. Really,
It's a great story. I mean, I love it when we get the kids on. I mean, you remember him from sleeping in his bed, spending quality time with Jake and them over there. So it's cool to see. Like I said, it's like I told Caden at the Derby when I saw him. I said, man, I said I'm not taking any credit, but I said it's so cool to know that we told everybody you were going to be the next big superstar, and here you are making us look good. So
yeah, I tell you, man, it's funny how soon they grow up. I remember, when I started racing at Austin, I would see people where it's like, I remember you in the stands as a little kid, and I'm like, yeah, it was, but now it comes around, full fashion like that, to where it's like, geez, but time flies, man. Time really goes by fast, doesn't it? Shit, Bobby.
We're coming up on third generation racers that we're announcing for now.
No, I tell you.
Did it with dad, did it with kiddo. Now we're doing it with grandsons. It's a hot minute now. We've been doing this a little too long, but I still love it.
Yep. Speaking of that, here's a guy that's kind of been, as we go back to the Revved Up hotline, kind of got them all stacked up here this evening. This is another guy that he's probably got some memories here of the Wallace family. I know this guy ends up in some of those chats when it comes to Jake Wallace, because Jake Wallace pulls no punches on this guy right here. This is mi hermano up in North Texas. Now it is our man, the captain, Bruce Wright from Jake Wright Motorsports. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Rod. How are you? I'm trying to get my camera rolling, but it won't.
Hey, as good as you look, you need to be on camera, because
Basis for radio, man.
You looking good, man. You looking good. How much, dude? You're slim, trim, and you look like you're in fighting weight right now.
I'm down to about 195, 200.
My man. Well
good
done.
Lord.
Well done.
Yeah.
Hey,
Feeling good, man.
In a good way. Good Lord, in a good way, there, dude.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It's no more of those 3 o'clock in the morning fajitas and all that stuff that
no, we pretty much cut down on that. Sure did. But I have to, it was awesome following Eric. But I got to say, I pray for Lori, his mama. She's married to Jake, and bless his heart, he's a very well-spoken person.
I tell you, man, I'm very ashamed to say that I learned a lot of my social skills from Jake Wallace, and that explains why I lack in social skills.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Bruce, kind of a big night for you tonight. Announcement coming up here momentarily, but let's talk about the last decade and a few years for Jake Wright Motorsports. You guys in the trucks, when it comes to that here in Texas, and you guys have even dabbled outside of the state of Texas, Florida, Arizona, doing different things. the success that you guys have had, man. You've put some kind of program together, and when it comes to setting a benchmark with the racing, pavement racing in Texas, you guys have set that path. Kind of break that down for us, how it's gotten to this point.
You know, Rod, it's looking back on it. Jake and I have had this conversation a few times, and Miss Ellie. You know, going back when we started, you know, I attribute a lot of this to actually my wife, Miss Ellie. And the reason I say that is because she got us organized and departmentalized, right? So early on, you know, I mean, I was doing the best I could with what I had, but I really wasn't organized and focused. And Miss Ellie brought that part to the table to where, you know, I mean, we have certain partners that we've been working with for the last 10 years. And, you know, I can pick up the phone and I can call Greg, or I can call Robbie, or I can call Brandon Ernest, or I can call Tom Buzzy, you know, and they know my builds. They know what we got.
Yep.
And there's that personal interaction there. And I think that was a huge part of it. Jake Kruger is massive part of it. You know, Jake, I actually have a picture somewhere where they were at the quarter midget track when Jake was, I think, probably 4 and Big Jake was probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
When Christopher was still racing, you know, so that's how far those two guys go back. You know, so when we started putting this thing together, you know, the goal was, when we got rid of Midnight, we're going to put together a championship truck, and we're just going to put all of our focus on it to see if we can build a quality piece. And, you know, John Heil built the base chassis. Jake Kruger put the rest of it together. Miss Ellie and myself, we put all the ancillary pieces together. And I can't forget Travis and Joey. Those guys have been mainstays. So, you know, you talk about team with Eric, I mean, much smaller scale, but yeah, as far as how we put it all together, everybody has their job. Greg Davidson told me years and years and years ago, you win races at the shop.
Yep.
Right. Some of the most dominant races that I can remember us being a part of, when we got to the track, we really didn't do anything. We were all laying in the trailer floor taking naps.
Yep.
And it was just that good, right? Here the last couple of years, it's been hard.
Yeah.
It's been hard. I will say this: there's some guys, there's some kids out there, some young guns in the trucks that they're thirsty, they're hungry, and they're fast. You know, this past one, this last championship is probably my proudest, because if you would have asked me middle of the summer, hey, you guys going to go for number 4? There's no way. No way. We are not even a little bit close in the ballpark. We're just hanging on by a thread. And certain things happened in certain situations, and then all of a sudden we won a race. But I got to tell you, that last race of the season, I had a points list up in the tower. Okay, this is where we need to finish, and this is where Carson can finish, and we can still win. And I think it came down to we were +1 in points.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of this one, just because it was probably the toughest.
Yep.
So Bruce, before we get into the big announcement, let's talk about Logan for a minute. I know you're proud with this next generation, but what's it like racing with your grandson?
So that's a completely different dynamic, right? The quarter midget club has lost their minds. There's a bunch of them that are on listening right now. River City, Austin, they elected me the president, so I'm the president of the quarter midget.
I can't believe that shit.
Can you believe that?
When you text me that, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's like, y'all really don't want to do this, but okay, we're gonna give it a shot. So, and Miss Ellie's the secretary, so there again,
well,
the
that's
organizational deal. She's keeping me, and Jake, I believe this, Jake's tech. So, but so you know, the whole Logan thing, right? I mean, I guess he was about 4. He would ask me to pull up YouTube, and he just wanted to watch quarter midget. That's all. Quarter midgets. And I mean, he would watch for hours.
Yeah.
He saw some old videos of his dad and some, of course, there's pictures everywhere. And he wanted to know how he could start. And neither Jake or I, we weren't really sure how this was going to go. And the kid has really turned it up, really turned it up. So this coming year for Logan, we ordered him a brand new car, and he'll be running a Junior 160. So that's a bigger motor, a lot more power. Still got a restrictor plate because of his age, but it'll get his attention. Because he's been bugging me and Jake about pull the restrictor plate, Pops, let me go. I want to go. And we did. And it scared me a little bit at first towards the end of last year, but he had pretty good car control and it was pretty quick. So Jake and I decided to do it. And now little brother Liam, if he gets his wish from Santa Claus, there may or may not be another one under the tree. We'll have to see how Santa comes off with that one. So yeah, just like that, I'm going to have 3 of the damn things. And another sidebar of breaking news, I got contacted through NASCAR Youth Series that they're hosting a national event at Circuit of the Americas hosted by the Austin Club. And that's going to be May 7th, 8th, and 9th. So that's during it's a sports car weekend. Yep. It's not Formula One. It's not NASCAR. But from what I'm understanding, they're gonna set our racetrack up somewhere in the middle of COTA. Not exactly sure what the layout looks like yet.
Love it.
So yeah, I'll be down there that week of May helping the NASCAR Youth Series and everybody get set up. So we're looking forward to that. A lot of big stuff on the quarter midget side, and that kind of ties into what we're going to talk about here in a little while.
Yeah, and that really, that's a great segue, dude. You need to have your own program here because you built that up perfectly.
I can't figure out how to turn my camera on, so that doesn't work.
Hey, that's okay. That's totally okay. You're doing a great job, man. So that being said, Jake's going to be busy. You're going to be busy. That truck is very sought after. I know a lot of people. I've talked to people where it's like, I would love to buy that 48 truck. I'm like, well, it's not mine to sell. Right. I could sell it to you, but you're not getting the truck. I'll take your money, but you can't take the truck. They know we're homies over here. So let's break it down, man. What happens with that vehicle in 2026?
So we're keeping the truck, and I everybody knows that we're building a modified, and the modified is, I'm going to call it probably 50% done. It's getting a body right now. We still need some pieces, parts for it. We may or may not make the first race, but that's okay. We're going to be a rookie again, which Jake and I are both kind of looking forward to, right? It's no pressure. Just go out there and learn it at our pace, because we're going to be really busy with the quarter midget stuff. So having said that, I've had several people reach out to me, and Logan, going back to Logan, I guess I would say it's probably 2-3 months ago, he found a picture of his daddy in the legacy car.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rodney, if you guys remember, we had to weld pedal extensions on his pedals because he was so small, just so he could operate the pedals. Yep. Well, Logan saw those. And he looked at me and he's like, Pop, can we do that to the truck so I can drive? I'm like, whoa, time out, brother.
Hold on.
We're not quite ready for that yet. But it got me and Jake to thinking, because Jake flat told me, Dad, I'll run the truck or I'll run the modified, but I'm not doing both. Right. Mm-hmm. The truck series is very important to me. The truck series, we've been in it for 12, 13 years, something like that. And of course, we've won a lot of championships with it. I want to support the truck class. Miss Ellie won't let me drive it. Mm-mm. So we're like, okay, as a family, we're like, what are we thinking?
And I never got a call. I was waiting.
It was one of those things, and I'm sorry.
I know. I was second choice. The story of my life. I was the second choice.
And I got to thinking a little bit, and I was like, and you guys have heard me say this, and I've said to Marianne, Gina, and anybody who'll listen, I never really thought that there was a really good, we always talk about the quote unquote pipeline.
Yeah.
But there's not really a good pipeline from the quarter midgets as the kids grow up through to the big tracks, right? Other than the legacies. And there's really, it's hard to go from a quarter midget or a bando to a legacy. That's a big step. But at least if you got that, then where do you go out of a legacy?
Yeah.
And enter this family that we become very, very good friends with. There she is. What's up, Sally?
Hi.
You're gonna have to show me how to turn on my camera. Started talking to Riley and talking to her parents, and I watched her for probably over a year, and I don't know that there was any one particular race, but I felt like, you know what, this girl given the right piece of equipment, I think she can really rock the house. And so with no further ado, Miss Riley Allen is the new driver of the Jake Wright Motorsports number 25. Take it away, Dallin.
I'm very grateful for this opportunity that Bruce and Jake have given me. And they were gracious enough to let me run my number. We met Bruce through quarter midgets. They were entering as I was retiring. And so at the time, my dad was president and we needed his help with a couple things. And that's how we kind of got to know each other. And I also got to help Logan a little bit with like lines and stuff as someone who raced quarter midgets for 10 years. So I believe that's how we got close. And then just over the past 2025 season, he's watched me and the whole family gave me the opportunity to race the pro truck for next season.
So Riley, for you, we've watched you, we've kind of grown with you throughout the season. You've been on this show a couple of different times. I mean, winning races, and then Pensacola. I mean, you set the world on fire in Pensacola, and it just had a bunch of people fired up to see you. So this next step for you, obviously a bigger vehicle and so forth, but you had a little time in this truck. So kind of talk about just the time that you've been able to be on the track and in this pro truck, and kind of the differences that versus the legacy, and obviously with the much smaller cars that you've run before.
Yeah, so the very first time I got to get in the pro truck, I was very nervous because, well, obviously it's not mine. So that, that gets held to its own, So I was really nervous, and I know that it's a very high profile truck, and there was other people there, so either they would think that it was Jake in it and it wasn't running very fast, or they just thought that I was testing it for the weekend. But that being said, for the very first time getting in the truck, I feel like it went phenomenal. Like, I was running really decent laps, and I got a hold of it pretty fast. And coming from a legacy, it's much different. It's a lot more power, obviously, but the legacies don't have power steering. So It did take a while for me to get used to that, but it's definitely a lot more fun than the legacy.
I bet.
Hey, Rodney, does anybody else know what you texted me about the other day?
No, and I didn't know that legacies didn't have power steering.
So Riley, stay on the line with keep an open line of communication up there with Hot Rod up there, because he's going to be needing your help here coming up in the next. I don't know, next 6-8 weeks. He'll probably be getting some tips from you about a breaking news that you won't know till after the show.
My mouth has overridden my ass once again, believe it or not. But anyway, so for that, Riley, when it comes to, I think that one of the things that makes us even cooler, and Bruce, you can chime in as well. I mean, Riley, it's been a good year for you at Houston, and this will originate there at HMP, and I'm assuming it'll be a full campaign there at Houston. You're really good at that track, and I think how does that help the confidence level in moving up, even though that it is a totally different genre that you're going into, but you're really damn swift at that racetrack.
Yeah. So this year. Well, the beginning of the year was a little rough. It started off pretty rough. But during the summer, when we got the chance to go down to Five Flag Speedway, it really turned around from there. I got my very first podium in the legacy. And then after that, we were just getting podiums left and right. And then even at Mobile. And then I got my very first win back at home. And then after that, I felt so confident in the legacy, and the fear of anything bad that could happen just totally disappeared. And I believe that has really helped with practicing in the truck. So that being said, I am a little nervous to run the truck, knowing like the drivers that are out there, but I'm definitely not as nervous as I would be if I didn't have those wins in top fives and top threes under my belt already.
For sure.
Well, and so one of the things that Riley and I have talked about is realistic goals, right, for this year. You know, top fives. Let's shoot for top fives. Let's shoot for, you know, finishing races and staying out of trouble. You know, if we can contend for a win, let's contend for a win. Consistency. Let's just be consistent with our race craft, right? You know, really learning the technique and understanding where your brake zones are, where your cut zones are, where you're on throttle, off throttle, you know, those things. And, you know, you'd be surprised, man. I mean, you can miss your mark 6 inches and you've wasted a lap.
Yep.
And, you know, and you got to be able to throw that lap away mentally so you can get back and hit your mark again, you know? So, you know, work on those things. And just, you know, just be consistent and have some fun. You know, if we win a race or two, then, you know, the points will come the way the points come. But no pressure. We'll be okay.
Win a race or two. No pressure, Riley.
No pressure.
You know, I mean, when it comes right down to it, though, talking with the family, there's quarter midget ties. And this is what I'm really passionate about. You know, their family spent a lot of years in quarter midgets. You know, I grew up there. Both my boys did. We're doing it again. You know, supporting the truck class, supporting HMP, supporting the little cars. I never ever thought that I would be wearing this hat here, especially at this stage of my racing life. And yet here we are. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to 26. It's going to be busy, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
So Riley, for you in 26, I guess it is. Yeah, 26. I keep seeing the truck 25. So 26. So will it be any legacy stuff? So will that go to the side? I saw that the micro's gone. So what? And you didn't clean the tires. I saw somebody posted right away. You didn't clean the tires. Come on, man. So will it be just strictly trucks for you, or will you do other stuff when you're not behind the wheel of the Jake Wright Motorsports number 25? That's weird to say.
So we do want to continue to run the legacy when we can. We're not going to be so hard on local points, but we definitely want to go back to Mobile. And if Five Flags has another race with us on the schedule, then we definitely want to go back there. Just really racing when we can, when it isn't going to interfere with a race weekend with the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the micro is gone. I had a year of dirt under my belt. It was fine, but pavement is my strong suit, and we just couldn't really do both anymore. So I went ahead and chose what I was better at. And the person who bought it is also a retired quarter midget racer from RCQMA. So it's good that it went to someone that we know very well.
Love it.
So Riley, put it on your schedule now. You might want to keep your options open on March the 13th and 14th. Just so you know, we'll have some more breaking news about that particular date later. But just keep your options and openness open there on March the 14th.
Okay.
So
You got me and Miss Sally scratching our head. Like, what the hell's going on March 13th and 14th?
I'll fill you in.
10-4.
I'll fill you in. So guys, this doesn't happen. And again, Bruce, I love what you're doing here to where, because I knew if you guys were not going to be actively competing, I knew you would never sell that truck. I knew you would not. The pride that you guys have put into that thing, I knew that piece would stay with you guys. And I love how you're, you know, offering this to Riley that kind of stays right there in the group. So, sponsorship, do you guys have partners on board? I see some stuff on the livery right there. Livery is fancy for paint scheme.
But, you know, and we talk about that, right? So none of this stuff happens because I'm independently wealthy, because I am not. But Siddons Martin Emergency Group, and they've been with us for 8-9 years. LT division showed up on the scene. I guess it was last year, and they're a staffing company that staffs. You know, they temp service for trades. You know, like electrical, mechanical, HVAC, things like that. You know, and just an excellent resource of talent. If anybody out there needs that type of talent, get with me. I can get you some manpower, no problem. And then, of course, my favorite lawyer, the Moore Law Firm, right? Those guys, they've been with me for the last 6 or 7 years. But none of this happens without Kruger Motorsports, BMF Shocks and Chassis, Robbie White Race Engines, Spring Carburetors, Buzzy Performance, and Ernest Performance. And, even though they're our partners and I pay them, I still feel that it's necessary that those guys get as much credit as everybody else does, because without those guys, none of this stuff happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but any chances, guys, that you do some with the truck, that you do some mobile or some Five Flags or any of that kind of stuff? I know that this is going to be very slow going into it, but I see Riley kind of snickering right there. So any chances that you guys kind of venture out?
It's possible. I'm not going to never say never. We'll let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
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 The only thing missing in this whole deal, y'all, is we got to get Riley one of them really good nicknames, because you can't go from the showstopper in the 48 to just little old Riley.
I've been calling her Sally. I've called her Peppermint Patty. I've called her Penelope Pit Stop. I haven't really come up with a good one yet, but I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm open for anything.
Yeah. It'll all work out, I'm sure. Man, this is really exciting. Bruce, man, I'm so excited for what you guys going to that next level with what you're doing right there. You, my man, are what we need more of, that just kind of keeping the sport alive, to get the youngsters. I mean, look at the driver that you're talking about here with Riley. I mean, she's kind of working her way through the ranks, and it's so important that this happens, and people get on their soapboxes and want to piss and moan and bitch and complain. Sorry, Riley, about racing all the time. But man, you got to continue to give back to this thing. And that's what you guys are doing, and passing this truck on to someone that's so worthy like this, man. This is a great story. I'm excited.
Well, it kind of real quick before we end, it goes. I was telling a story of my father last night when I was talking to the Allens. Back in the mid '80s, early '80s, I was winning races all over the country, and frankly, I was a little full of myself, right? And my father always had a way to knock me down a peg or two, and he pulled me aside one day, and he pretty much told me, he's like, "Nobody gives a damn about you, boy."
Yep.
And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, "Nobody cares about you. You think you're the show everybody worries about and cares about the 5-year-olds." And I didn't understand that in those days, but it took me until I had my own kids to really understand and accept what my father was telling me. And he's right, because without the 5, 6, 7-year-olds starting out in quarter midgets, there is no Jake Wright, there is no Riley Allen, there is none of us, right? You got to keep them coming. So there's big track racing for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only winner that I've ever seen is Father Time.
Mm-hmm. He's undefeated.
He's undefeated.
He is undefeated.
So
great stuff.
I'm excited, guys. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, me too. Congratulations, guys. Keep me posted. Let us know how we can help. Riley, looking forward to following along with you in that 20. I like that. I like that livery that I was talking about there. So
I got to get used to it too.
I know.
It's still sitting in my shop with a 48 on.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Congratulations. Happy holidays to all the families, and let's keep in touch, man. Let us know how we can help.
All righty. Appreciate it, Rod.
All right.
Y'all be
You got
good.
it. Riley, take care, girl.
Thank you so much for having me. I love being on your show, Rodney. And thank you so much, Bruce, and your whole family for the opportunity. It means so much to me.
You're
Excellent.
fine. You're good.
Excellent. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Be good, brother.
You bet. There they go. How about that? Carson Green's going to have to deal with Riley Allen now in the trucks too.
That's going to be an exciting combination right there. That's a good combination there for 2026.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the cool thing about it is I think with Riley is that she's not going to. I mean, it's going to be overwhelming. I mean, for her getting in that. I mean, it's going to be the first time they drop the green flag and there's trucks around her. It's going to be a little bit different, but she's not. She really does seem, and I think that's where Christina and their family have done such a great job to where she's going to take care of the equipment. And I know that Bruce has told her because she mentioned right there when she drove the truck, it's like it's not mine. I'm sure that Captain Bruce Wright has been something happens, we fix it.
That's
Just
right.
Get out there and get after it. Yeah.
All out, all to the wall, and then we'll deal with the consequences later.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Magic Mike Knotts checks in. They didn't have cars for kids when I was 7. When I was 7, they were like this size, like these little Hot Wheels back here. That's what we did. We had to make like, remember the dirt tracks where you would run your snap tights around there? That's what we did back in those days. But yeah, really cool stuff. It is Riley Allen heading to the truck series there. She will be behind the wheel of the number 25 Jake Wright Motorsports. That's going to take a little while to get used to. All right, guys, coming up, we are dropping a major schedule. The STEMS schedule, South Texas IMCA Modified Series. You're about to get that live right here. That's coming up momentarily. But what we're going to do is we're going to let you know one of the imperative partners in the STEM series. It's On Demand Shirts.
You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here. Precision, consistency. Just like in racing, these are our values in screen printing, embroidery, and everything in between. If it's branded, we can do it.
On Demand Shirts, official apparel provider of many, many people, of Showtime Bobby Chaffee, of me, of Revved Up, of Dirty Air. I had somebody ask me, I was wearing a Dirty Air cap the other day, and somebody said, hey, what's Dirty Air with Rodney Rodriguez? I'm like, it's me. So it grabs attention. It grabs attention, I guess, is the important thing.
Well, I mean, that's what they're for, right? I mean, it's to promote yourself and your sponsors when you have a racing T-shirt. So
that's right. And they will hook you up. They are also the title sponsor of the South Texas IMCA Modified Series.
Nick, I'll do it. It's the Southern Touring Modified
Southern
Series. That's right. Still stems.
No. I'm out of the game, guys. I'm kind of out of touch. I'm sorry, guys. I try to.
No hard feelings at all. Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, guys. Thanks so much for having me on the show at such late notice. Things have been working, man. I tell you what, we have been moving and a grooving for sure. And I know you've got it. We are happy to have it, and we're happy to do it here on the Revved Up Sports Show with Rodney and Bobby for sure.
Now, well, let's dive in, Nick. I mean, that's what people are tuning in for. The much awaited schedule has come out for the Southern.
There she is.
Yeah, there it is.
There she is. It's been a lot of work put into this thing, man. I cannot thank first of all Rachel and James for working with me. I'm new to this promoter hat, Bobby. I know you've worn it before, Rodney. I know you know what this is all about. And it's a lot of teamwork, man. And the three of us have really put our noggins together and worked hard to hammer this dude out. Also, every racetrack that you see on that poster right there, every single one of those promoters deserves a tip of the hat. One, for running a racetrack in 2025 and doing it again in 2026. That itself is no small task. But two, for taking a risk on a series that is ambitious and looking to grow. And backing that full, 10 toes. They're all behind us. And we've got a lot of stuff going on here that we're real proud of for sure.
Absolutely.
You got to say, I was only privy to the first event opener. It's the only thing I knew, right? Because I was very happy when the powers that be down at Texana. I wanted to double check, make sure I was going to be there for the 13th and 14th. So, it's a good mix of tracks. You've got to, I'm partial to Texana dates. But I really like what is happening with the doubleheader Friday night at Waco and Saturday night at Cotton Bowl. I think logistically that makes more sense than going from north to south. I think that's a quick rear end change, and they're
Yeah.
ready to go. So talk about trying to make that work. I know you had some guys that were really interested in making that happen.
Yes, we did. And I'll be honest with you guys, the number one was James Cole himself. Like, he has been from the get-go of the three of us getting together and trying to work this thing out. His whole thing was, I want drivers to have good value for their dollar. They work hard. They put a lot of money and time into these race cars. We're already asking a lot of them to come and run with us, and we want them to know that we've got their back and that we want them to get bang for their buck. And these 2-day, even if they're at separate tracks, we tried really hard to make sure, that pairing with Heart of Texas and Cotton Bowl, that's just a 2-hour drive. It's about 120 road miles to get from one to the other. It's a pretty common thing that happens anyway, with Waco being a Friday track. A lot of those drivers will come and run Cotton Bowl. So we were just excited to grow that, expand upon that. And we're just really excited to see all this come together. We've been literally working since the end of October to put this dude together. It's been very fast paced and a lot of moving parts. There are still a couple of TBDs there. We are working. I will say this. We're working really hard with 2 other new tracks. We're looking to have 4 brand new tracks to the series this season. I can't quite say which 2 we're working with right now, but we are talking with 2 different new tracks to the schedule. So that'll bring us, 3 new tracks this season altogether is what we ultimately hope to have. And we're very excited about what this looks like right now.
And Nick, the one that is listed right there, April 25th at 105, I think that is such a great get right there, because that market right there is one where we're kind of 105. I call Waco the equator when it comes to like Texas. But capturing a racer at 105, and I don't think weather's going to be an issue. I mean, that's a really good date. Kind of talk about the 105 thing there, because that's a market I think where you're going to pull some dudes in, and it's going to add to your regular roster of drivers.
Yeah, I want, again, shout out Joey at 105. And I should say this would bring us to 4 new tracks if we can get those 2 locked down for that July weekend. But yeah, Joey at 105 has been a big help. He's taken a big risk. They're not an IMCA track. They don't have a lot of IMCA mods that run there on a regular basis, or around there really on a regular basis. And really just want to thank him again for giving us a show, taking a risk. But I think you're right, Rodney. I think the time of the year is right. We've got a good break on either side of that date. And I have heard personally from a dozen or so drivers that have been like, why aren't we going to 105? When are we going to race at 105? Got to get a show at 105. I'm going to be honest, boys. That's the only track in the state that I have yet to announce a race at. So I'm just looking to fill in the card for the state right there.
There you go. There you go.
Very excited about doing that and being there. And again, Joey has been just a great help and a willing racetrack and a willing promoter to work with us and make something happen. And again, all of the folks that I've spoken with, from Mariana Cotton Bowl, David and Amanda there at Heart of Texas, Ray and Mike at 37, Cord and Monty at Texana, and Chris and Harry up at Rocket have just really worked really hard with us to make this thing come together. It's been so fast paced, and it's especially the last 48 have just been a whirlwind of like making it happen, because we had this wild idea to release it now with y'all about 48 hours ago is when this came about. And we've just all been nose to the grindstone. I can't say enough for James and Rachel. They're both, especially James, has just got so much going on. Rachel has a lot going on behind the scenes that so many people know nothing about, the work that woman does in this sport, in this industry. And I'm just a face, honestly. I just get to come on here and talk about it, but they do a lot of work, and it's really been fun to make this thing happen.
Absolutely.
I felt bad. I texted her about the schedule to see if she could send it to me a little early so I could see it. And I was like, oh, wait, you're back off the boat, right? She's like, yes, I'm off the boat. I didn't want to bother her on the boat. So, no, I think it's a great schedule. I got to look at it, and I was really pleased at the number of tracks, and they're spaced out enough to where, you got a guy that can come and run, or gal can come and run a couple of races in the beginning of the year to see how they fare. And then if you got a guy that's out of points for his local track, has a couple of bad races in the beginning of the season, here's a perfect schedule to kind of come and cherry pick to make your year.
Yeah.
You got national points on the line, you got regional points on the line, you got state points on the line. Like this is a great, it's a great standalone series, but it also is turning into the perfect supplement for the series for the guys that want to run for those big time points.
And I think that's what we're really excited about with this, Bobby. You hit the nail on the head. I mean, you see, we're running that very last weekend there at 37. That is the final weekend for IMCA points, for national points. So if someone's like, dang, I need another couple good races to get to my, my 50 that they take my points with, we've usually got good full fields, and the competition is stiff. So if you want to get, full field points, that's a big one right there. Ray and Mike were really big in making that 2-day show happen. And I think that really these tracks that are working with us and helping us give the racers that value for their dollar. I mean, we've got a few racetracks on the schedule where we've got 3 shows. We've got 3 shows at Cotton Bowl, 3 individual dates at Cotton Bowl, 3 at Texana, 3 at 37. Those are really the core tracks that have been with us pretty much since day one. And hats off again to those three places. They're fine facilities, fine promoters, and I can't thank them enough for making this happen and for taking this risk and for getting us there. 3 shows out of a season is a big ask, and they're more than willing. All of them were on board from the get-go.
Yep. Nick Robbins dropping the STEM schedule right here on Revved Up tonight, pre-Christmas edition. I do want to ask you about the one date in there, the Rocket Raceway Park date. So that one there, I mean, I love, because folks do, it's like expand, they're wanting a bunch of dates in North Texas and all that, but I love what you're doing right here. And then you do it at the Mize Memorial.
Yes.
Talk about that part. You get in on that part of the program, you get on that card. They're going to lay you guys out a really nice picnic basket right here and you show up on this night.
And I think that it's kind of a perfect storm of good, like the location of Rocket, the timing of the weekend. That is right before Supernats in Boone.
Yep.
That is going to be a good time for drivers who are, especially Texas drivers or Oklahoma drivers that are going up there. They've got new pieces. They're looking to shake something down, as one last hurrah, just to make sure that everything is right before they go to Boone. And again, it's a big, important race in this state as well. And I've had the privilege to be a part of several Mize Memorial races. I was at the very first one at Grayson County Speedway like 10 years ago at this point. And it's really, really a special race. It's near and dear to my heart. I've been away from it for a few years, and I'm glad to come back and be a part of it. And again, Chris and Harry taking over Rocket and making that place work and keeping it alive. And we're just happy to be a small part of it. A big show for them and hopefully a big show for fans. We're looking for things to just go really well there. It will be an increased purse, as you can see there. I don't know exactly how much. That really just depends on marketing partners and stuff like that, and drivers and fans coming out and supporting it. But if I know anything about Chris and Harry at Race On and Running Rocket, like, they are promotional masters. They are going to make this thing happen. It is going to be big. They love racing in the state of Texas, and they support dirt track racing in so many ways that so many people don't even know about. And again, I'm just happy to be back a part of the team and make this thing happen, man. It's going to be great.
Absolutely.
So 2 things, 2-parted. Number one, I will behind the scenes is that a lot of people were asking me during the off season for Texana. They requested 3 things. They said stems, sprint cars, and late models. Well, luckily we got 2 of the 3. Working late models in South Texas is a hard get.
It
is. But I love the fact that stems will be with us 3 times. That Texas 2-step to open the season is going to be a lot of fun. And then I was going to say that the 37 race, I think, to start the season with those IMCA the guys that are coming down in January, I think that's going to be a good way to go support the season start. Even though it's not a stems race,
right?
A good way to get introduced to the state of Texas drivers and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And there are, as you boys well know, there's some big IMCA names that will absolutely be coming down for that. There were some big ones here last year. Ray and Mike have got a good little show on their hands, and I think there's going to be some special stuff coming out that aren't maybe public knowledge just yet. That's going to be good stuff coming in the next few weeks for that show. So or a couple of weeks, I show you. It's coming up soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. That showdown there at 37 is going to be a big one to start the year. I'm excited. I will be on the mic with Chris Workman for that show. Very, very happy to be a part of that, and big thanks to Ray and Mike again for having me out and inviting me to come on down. I'm just really excited with how this thing has turned out. I know I've said that a lot, but it's real. It's palpable at this point. This was a big hurdle for James and Rachel and myself, and again, these tracks have really just come in clutch and really, have just wanted to work. There's been, I don't want to say clamor is kind of a crazy outdated word, but it's really felt that way. Like everybody has really been calling and asking, hey, when can we get you? What does the schedule look like? Cord and Monty really wanted to be first. They spoke up early and got that show locked down. I've been talking with Ray. He wanted to kind of end the season with us as well, and was very instrumental in agreeing to have a 2-day show and put that thing together. What I think I love the most about the mentality that we've had is it's really teamwork. It's communication. Yeah. I have talked so much to so many of these promoters for the last 6 weeks, guys. They've been available at any moment of the day, have answered all of my questions, and have really worked really hard to make this as easy for all of us, not just James and Rachel and myself, but we want to make it easy for them. We want to make this an easy sell. We think that our purse is competitive, not only for the drivers, but for the tracks themselves. It's an attractive, appealing offering. And especially in South Texas, to keep quality modified racing alive, really, especially in South Texas. But as you see, we're expanding. We're going north. We're looking to move ahead and expand our market. And again, bring those quality South Texas drivers to the north side of the state and make them run for some good money and make those North Texas guys. I'm thinking Abbey Brothers, especially a lot of good hot shoes, maybe some Southern Oklahoma wink, WG coming on down to do some racing with us as well. Yeah. I'm looking for big things in 26. I think that having this schedule out makes James and Rachel and I all just breathe a big sigh of relief that it's almost done. As you can see, it's 98% complete. And we're looking to get her wrapped up here in the next couple of days to next week. So we're just really excited that it's all on paper, on the screen, and it's real now. We've been working so hard, but now it's real.
Yeah. And Nick, last one for me, something that you've mentioned a couple of times during this conversation. I think that race promoters right now, I think that they're realizing with the competition to get the consumer in there, to get the fans in there, to get the customer in there, it's really imperative that you do everything that you can and even work together to try to spread the wealth a little bit. I mean, because whether it's 37, Cotton Bowl, Texana, I mean, everybody needs to kind of be able to cooperate to make this work, because it really is a collaborative effort at this point when you have a series like you guys that you can drop it, sprinkle it in there, and everybody succeeds at the end when you do this kind of stuff.
And that is very true. And it again, tip of the hat to all those promoters. And it's also something to keep in mind when you're running these IMCA modifieds. There are a lot of tracks across the state that run them either regularly or some of them that run them weekly. And we're trying to make these shows for a traveling series, but also not take away from the market for those weekly tracks. We've really had to work with those promoters and with those racetracks. And again, I just want to thank them all for making this as easy as possible, to where we're not stepping on IMCA weekly points racing toes. I mean, we've had conversations with Brett and Jim at IMCA to make sure that we're making them happy and that we're working within, the bounds that they've got set, and trying to abide by all the rules possible, both, for the race cars and just for the series itself and for the class itself to live and survive and thrive in the Lone Star State. The size of the state presents its own set of unique challenges, but it also it kind of is a double-edged sword where it feels like it's a regional thing, and that makes it easier to break down as well. And it's real good to see the sense of camaraderie and feel the sense of camaraderie that all of these promoters have worked. Again, like I said, new series, or it feels new. It's new to me. Right. I know that this will be year 3 for the series itself, but it feels new to me. And they've worked really hard to make it as easy as possible. And I just thank them all so much.
Absolutely.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. We appreciate the last minute Christmas Eve opening gift here, right? So that's a good thing. Obviously, Roddy and I look forward to being partners with the series, and obviously with the affiliation with On Demand Shirts.
I got one too.
Yeah, with the affiliation with On Demand Shirts, we look forward to working with you guys all season. Obviously, I noticed there's a couple of dates that I'm going to try to squeeze out of Texana and go support you guys when I can away from Texana. So I'll keep in touch that way, and we'll go around and see what the schedule holds for 2026. See how much fun we can have out here in the great state of Texas.
I love it so much, guys. And again, thank you so much for having me on the show and letting us break this news, man. The partnership with you two already has been fruitful for us, I feel. And I just love getting to be on screen with you, on the air with you. It's great. I look forward to doing it more often through 26, perhaps in some different capacities. I'd love to talk about that for sure. This looks great. I'm so excited to be a part of the team for sure. It's going to be big. And I think that the drivers are pumped. Promoters seem excited. And I know that James and Rachel and myself are all excited as well. And as clear as both of y'all. So we're just thrilled about it all around.
Looking forward to it, man. Congratulations. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yes, you too.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and enjoy the holidays, and then get your ass ready because it's time to go to work. So
it is. It's time to go to work. Marketing partners. I'm going to be looking to you next. That's step number 2. We've got this out of the way. I'm on the phone all the time, so I'll get my information out there for sure. But yeah, we're looking forward to it for sure.
Yep, looking forward to it. All right, Nick, take care, man. Be well. Thanks for jumping on, man, and looking forward to 26, brother.
Thanks so much, boys. Have a great Christmas.
You got it, man.
All right, you too, man.
You bet.
Thanks.
There he goes, man. I like that schedule. That's
a nice compliment to local tracks. That's a nice compliment to a series.
Yep.
And the best part is I get to help kick it off.
Well,
that's the start of spring break for us.
The whole thing is, what I like about that is that it's not, because when we saw the rebrand, when we saw the change, I like that you're going to Rocket, and I like that you're going to 105, but it's not an overabundance of boom pushing to the. You're not kind of putting your regular people to the side to where it has been the southern part, and with those dates that you have right there, I mean, with Cotton Bowl and with 37 in Texana, you're going to continue to satisfy. I think what you're going to have right there is when folks that typically go to those 3 tracks in the South, if there's a chance to go to 105, if they can go to the Brian Mize Memorial, they're going to make that trip. And in my opinion, that's good for business, for the series, for the tracks, and you'll have people that want to come this way as well. So I like that schedule, man. That is really, and the dates in there, the time off, that back to back, Waco and Cotton Bowl just makes so much.
God, it makes so much sense, doesn't it?
God, that. I mean, the haul from folks don't realize, to go from Waco to Corpus Christi. And again, I mean, I love the racetrack in Corpus Christi. It's one of my favorite racetracks, but man, that is not an easy drive.
That's not an easy drive, not hauling a race car.
Right. And if you're tired, you're hungover, you're whatever the case is, that's a long ass way to go. So that, those double headers, man, are going to be pretty badass. And I know they're going to kill it on the social media side. So I'm looking forward to that part.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to helping out the best we can with those guys and gals, absolutely, including Rachel. So
yeah, there you go. So there's your man. What a night! I mean, we've had memories of Greg Biffle with Eric, and we talked with Bruce Wright. Bruce Wright in charge of the quarter midgets. That
I didn't have that on my 2026 bingo card.
He called me a while back, and he's like, "You're not going to believe this." He said they voted me the president. I'm like, was there nobody else available? We say that, but Bruce is such a good dude. I mean, it's they've done some really cool things with what they've done with the truck, and I think with Riley jumping in there, like we said, she's going to take care of the equipment, and I think when he said win a race or two, I don't think that's really out of the realm, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think that's too far-fetched of an idea either.
Yeah. Comments popping in right there. There's Logan Dinsmore fired up. This right here, and again, like I've always said, if I want to be at the racetrack till 3 a.m., I want to do that on my own accord. I don't want it to be because of what's going, like at the Derby, when you were stuck there till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I get that. You're trying to get the show in. But when it's a shit show and you're sitting there trying to get this stuff done, no. So yeah, that's really cool. Rachel is off the boat, and it was. This came together really fast when she said, "Hey, can we be on? We got the schedule." I'm like, I didn't even think you were that close. So boom, it's done, and you saw it right here.
That's good. News breakers. That's what we are. News makers and news breakers. If it's your first time watching the show, don't forget to check out the socials. Revved Up Sports Show on RUSS, Revved Up Sports Show there on Facebook. We are at Revved Race Talk on X, as well as the YouTube page. It's Dirty Air Media? You know that one.
I think so. Something like that.
Something like that. All the information, the hub of everything, RevvedUpSportsShow.com.
Go there. It'll take you to everywhere that you need to be.
Take you to everywhere.
Yeah.
We're trying to get up the number of subscribers to the YouTube channel. That's one of the big goals for 2026, so we can find ways to work with YouTube a little bit more and different things. So yeah, check it out. We're looking for bigger and better things coming up here in 2026. If we could cap all the stuff we've done over the course of the last 9 years, 10 seasons of the show.
And speaking of that, so next week, we will have almost next year. So when is New Year's Day? So that is
Thursday.
So a show early in the week. So kind of put in your memory bank. Let's talk about New Year's resolutions. I mean, that can be drivers, that can be promoters, that can be whatever. We'll kind of work on those. Start filtering those onto the social, probably on the Facebook page. Start dropping those on there. We'll share some of those, and we can kind of banter about that next week and kind of go back and forth on what 2026 looks like. I mean, if you're Riley Allen, I think your New Year's resolution is done. I think if you're Nick Robbins and Rachel Plant or Rachel Stewart and James Cole, I think that's a big burden off of you with a resolution that your schedule is 99% done. I'm curious about that TBD. That one kind of has my attention a little bit.
It's always great when you have a schedule with a TBD because you just get all excited. You're like, where are they going? What are they doing?
It gives a lot of options. It gives them a lot of options to fill in stuff right there. So great conversation. So what else do we have? So we've seen a lot of schedules dropped. I mean, you've seen series schedules dropped. I really like that IHRA brain trust that came out. I saw that. That looks like I think if there was any question on the validity of what's going to be happening with that series, they've gone out and they've. I mean, Robert Presley is a part of that.
As race director, that's a hell of a get right there.
That's a really good get. I mean, that's a guy where if I'm like the Stars Tour or one of those ASA, I'm like, God damn. I mean, that's a guy that. No nonsense. So that thing seems totally legit. Seeing track schedules come out, and meanwhile, we still wait for the playoff system or the whatever the NASCAR Premier Series is going to do for a point system.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. That'll probably be after the first of the year. I don't think they'll wait till Bowman Gray to let that go. So
I hope not. Our man Danny.
Well, they still have the Hall of Fame to go, so they could announce that during Hall of Fame weekend.
Yeah, they could do that. They could do that. And again, a lot of the financials of the entire lawsuit thing. I mean, we don't know a lot of that. I mean, we do know that the charters are evergreen or partnered or permanent is what that
permanent,
means. Right? Yeah.
Permanent without using the word.
Yeah. And it really is. I mean, some of the testimony, like with the Heather Gibbs stuff, to where it NASCAR really did have them, and I get it. I mean, it was that you had to pay to play. I mean, if you wanted to be a part of the game, you had to abide by those rules. And I think that this change is good. And I see a lot of people saying, what's NASCAR going to do to win back the fan base? To me, winning back the fan base is a lot more than this lawsuit thing. I think if anything, maybe this lawsuit thing will win back some of the fan base to where it's a little bit of a kink in the armor of NASCAR, because people are just so soured on NASCAR at this point.
Well, it makes them vulnerable. And that's something that NASCAR has never been, as vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Great program.
I mean, when it's there, when you play in somebody's sandbox, it's their rules, right? So it's good to see that the sandbox is the landscape of the sandbox is changing. We just don't know exactly how much is changing, but the sandbox is still going to be there.
Yeah,
they're still going to have to play in NASCAR sandbox, and that's just part of it.
And that's where I think that a lot of, Bobby, to me, is like with the World of Outlaws and High Limits, to where, again, there's going to be some divide. There's going to be some split in there to where, you can say that maybe that hurts. But I think at the same time, that makes the organizations, the series, the sanctioning bodies, I think it makes them be better to where it's like you have to be a little more with what's going on, to where it's not so much like with NASCAR to where they are. I mean, they are, when it comes to pavement racing, they dictate everything. I mean, even if you look at it with the short track racing, with the regional program, I mean, the major tracks, other than some of these ones that have the supers and all that, you've got big super late model events and all that, and where the Cars Tour go. But anything that's really considered a major asphalt short track, and even some of the dirt tracks are NASCAR sanctioned, and that's not cheap to be a part of. That's the other part of it, to where it's like, why didn't Houston get HMP, or why didn't HMP get NASCAR sanctioned?
Because it's a lot of damn money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Then you got to tie in the dates and everything. So there's a lot to it, and I think that's something else that we can kind of work on during the off season is really tie in, like what Nick was talking about right there. Is get these promoters in here and let them talk about. We've tried to do that in the past. Well, we have done that in the past, but I think back then, Bobby, it went over people's heads to where it's like, okay, it's just a promoter talking about whatever. I think now it's a little more clear to people that this is a hell of a lot fucking harder than
it's a whole lot harder than what people think it is. I mean, it's not just that we've been preaching it for 9 years, but it's one of those that it's like, I mean, I think people totally, with the number of racetracks that are shutting down and the reasons why they're shutting down. I mean, let's face it, right now, the only track that's not shutting down is Weber Valley Speedway on Facebook. So
yeah, that one's going to stay open. I mean, that one will stay open. And with that, I know that one offends a lot of people. Some
of that's pretty damn accurate.
It's real damn accurate. I mean, that's the thing about it, to where it's like, I can't believe that
they're making fun of racing.
Yeah, they're
making pretty. You know that remember the video, the AI video where the lights went out down in turn 1? You know that made it to a newscast. Somebody thought that was a real video and thought Weber Valley was a real racetrack, and they put it on their newscast.
Oh my God. I tell you, man. Well, that's, we do that to ourselves. And it's like when people go and look, I mean, I'm all about the drama and excitement, but it is like when I say that on Sunday mornings, when I'm traveling, I get up on Sunday morning, get my cup of coffee and jump online to see who's pissed off, because it's like people fighting and all this other stuff. We do that to ourselves. That stuff is great. I mean, that builds drama, that builds excitement for the sport. But at the same time, it gives us that stereotype, like what you're talking about, to where people get offended, to where people are like laughing at our sport. And it's like, do you know why they're laughing at us? Because we do this all the time. So anyway, Chili Bowl up to, man, I saw the entry list.
The Tulsa Shootout's up to record-breaking numbers.
Tulsa Shootout, man. It's they're getting ready over there, getting ready to go. So that'll be the first one to get us going. But at UARA, I mean, I know that Ricky and those guys, they've got some shit coming out of the box in January, to where it's very little time off, whether dirt or asphalt or asphalt.
You got New Smyrna, got the Red Eye at New Smyrna.
Yep,
the Super Southern Series. So there's lots of stuff happening right now.
It's time to get going. But do take this week and kind of enjoy the magic of the season. I'm much more in the holiday spirit this year. Like I said, I didn't
even put any lights up.
Oh, dude, I didn't.
But Humbug Holiday, put your lights up. But.
Yeah, 8334 Humbug, humbuglights.com. If you're looking to still get that done. And you know what? I got a text today. We'll be there on January 5th to take that down. I'm like,
that's the best part. That's why we didn't even put any up, because it's too late. Because you put them up 4 or 5 days later, got to take them down.
Time to take them down. The
better half had the whole time I was gone at the Derby, even had an extra day at the Derby.
She didn't put them up,
and she did not put any decoration. It takes 2 people to put the lights on the roof, but it only takes 1 person to put out the inflatables and the other stuff that we have accumulated over the years.
Bobby, I think you need to tell her that you're going to cut down her allowance if she's not out there doing her job.
Yeah, I mean, she had the 4 days at the Derby to do it. She didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know.
That's her holiday. But I won, because I told her if we didn't put up any Halloween decorations, we weren't going to put up any Christmas decorations. So, 1 day to go, and we're almost there. So
it's going to be a little weird around here. For one thing, as family gets older, that things get harder to, whether it's kids or our parents, if they're still with you, it gets harder to coordinate stuff, because, getting around's not as easy as it used to be and so forth. But so this year, I knew that I would have one boyfriend over, as my girls are in their, mid-20s at this point. I get 2 boyfriends over.
Oh, one for each, or one's got 2.
Fuck, I don't know. Probably, Bobby. It's not often.
It's called a throuple, I think, is the correct term for that nowadays.
Yeah, that's. I was joking around this morning on Texas Sports Unfiltered. I said, so if you're looking for a present for your wife, girlfriend, or both, And somebody got offended. What do you mean by that? I'm like, well, some people have both.
Both.
But yeah, so I'll have 2 young stallions here with us on Christmas Day. So
That ought to be fun.
they better watch out.
You got the shotgun by the door already?
No, I'm going to start cracking beers at 7 a.m. and I'm going to be in prime form when they get them. Both good dudes. I know them both well. So they have.
Is it the same dude we met at Super Bowl for one?
Oh yeah. That dude's a lot like me. That's the one that we kind of, it's like just a good old boy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The other young man, he's a little more, it's night and day. It's night and day with the 2 of them, but the girls are night and day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, they're both Caucasian, but what I mean is they're very different personalities. So, yeah, that'll be me on Christmas Day, entertaining 2 young stallions over here with my daughters.
Oh, and there's a Cowboy game on Amazon Prime that you get to watch during that time too.
Oh shit, that's right. I'll be up here in the studio, so they'll be doing their own thing. So, all right, that's good. Makes it even better.
See, I'm helping you out. Always helping you out, brother. Always
3
helping you
games.
out.
3 games. The NBA's got to be thinking, man, this is our day. This is our day. Our season starts on Christmas Day, and you NFL people are putting the Cowboys on, for crying out loud. Doesn't matter if they're in the playoffs or not.
Everybody watches the Cowboys. Some to watch them win, most to watch them lose.
Yep, and they do that well. But bowl games galore. You'll have some bowl games. I'm getting ready for. I'll have post-game duty on the 31st, middle of the afternoon, for the Cheez-Its Bowl, Texas and Michigan.
If Texas has anybody left.
Yeah. What do you think of playoff this weekend? How about them Sooners? How about them Aggies?
Yeah, I'm a group of 5 guys, so I was disappointed all weekend. So,
oh god,
it just means they'll get their own playoff.
You need your own playoff. I mean, that really that fixes a lot of things, and I don't think that the G5 should be rewarded. Congratulations, come on out and get blasted by Oregon.
Yeah, they'll end up getting there. And really, I was thinking about it today, even though this is a racing show, we'll talk a little football, is that you could still have the exact same TV package you have now, because ESPN and some of the other sports leagues, they promote G5 on G5 games, right? They have conference deals with the G5 teams. You could still have your G5 teams playing your Power 4 teams and allow the schools get a little bit of, a couple of million for those ass whoopings they get. But then when it comes down to it, ESPN will be able to showcase some of those playoff games, and it's going to be just like the FCS. Yeah. You're not going to have to wait for the bowl games. You're going to go after Thanksgiving weekend, boom, playoffs start.
Yeah.
Boom, home team, better record, home team. Next round, better record, home team. Have a neutral site for the national championship for the G5 and call it a day. And 2029, I think, is when that happens.
And I heard, the whole thing is because some people are, up in arms about the bowl system and so forth. And you've got a bowl going on right now to where it's Western Kentucky and whoever, and it's a good game. Although there's a guy laying flat out on the ground right now, so that's not a good thing. But I heard something this morning to where, what do you do with the bowl system? And I really like this idea. Is our man Aaron Hogan? Not that I sit there and listen to the competition, but I do like to listen to the competition to hear what they're talking about. But he was talking about, here's how you preserve the bowl system, to where you take like Labor Day weekend when the season opens, make that kind of bowl season to where your opening games are you get some really good matchups, and that's where you do your bowls. I mean, whether it be the Cotton Bowl or whatever, and have really marquee matchups. But the whole thing with that kind of defeats the purpose of, you've got Notre Dame's not going to play USC anymore, because that's detrimental to, playoff chances. So if you could just structure, I say it like it's easy because it really is, like what you're talking about. You see it in some of the other series of college football. Just have a playoff system. Do what the NFL does. The NFL, it just plays itself out, and you get the teams that need to be playing each other, and that's kind of how that works. But
yeah,
Bobby, they don't change that for a reason. For us to sit here and talk about it every freaking year, and sit here and have these discussions.
Yeah, well, Tech and Oregon will be a good game.
I think so. We'll see if the old a little concerned about Tech's lack of offense, maybe, but we'll see. It's good defense. My cousin Rodriguez is pretty damn good on that.
Right.
On that Tech defense. Yeah, he learned that from me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have another discussion on it another year, I'm sure.
That's it. Next year, when they change it to 16, we'll be all pissed off that 17 and 18 didn't get in.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, every year. All right, man. Great program. So what are you guys? I've told you what I'm doing. I'm entertaining my, I guess, future son-in-laws. Yay me. What are you guys doing?
We did Christmas with my sister last night because her and her husband are going up to Waco to spend time with his family, which is fine. And then they're going to Colorado for a couple of days after that. And then I don't know what Elizabeth wants to go to Sonic tomorrow because apparently because we wouldn't get tomorrow is the anniversary of the day that I proposed.
Oh,
like
you proposed at Sonic
22 something years ago. No, we got to Sonic and then we went to Sonic and then we went to the city park there in San Marcos. And a long story later, I ended up proposing. So she always likes to go on Christmas Eve day. She likes to go to Sonic, and then even though today's the 99-cent corn dogs, but
today'd have been the day to go.
I know, right? I'm a cheap ass, so I still got to find her some more gifts. Apparently, she got me 3, and I've only gotten her 1, so I got to do a little bit of last minute shopping tomorrow.
Damn! So she got 2 footlongs that day.
Yeah,
nice. Well done.
So yeah, so we got to do that tomorrow, and then I guess I'm assuming Sunday morning with the in-laws, and Sunday afternoon with the in-law family, and then who knows what's going to happen after that.
Yeah, I got to do some present wrapping here at some point. So may do that tonight or tomorrow, or hell, maybe early Christmas morning.
I mean, I'm off. I have a bonus day off today and Friday, or
nice.
tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah, nice. Absolutely. Perfect. Well, you guys have a great holiday. Enjoy your Christmas. Take a little downtime right here. Put this racing to the side, and by all means, let's all just get along for a couple days. You know, let's not debate racing. Let's not debate other things that we debate all the time. Let's just kind of enjoy the Christmas spirit. Like I said, I'm more into it this year because I miss Thanksgiving, being on the road. So yeah, I'm very much in the Christmas spirit. Although I will say on Sunday, Tracy's in there wrapping gifts and doing different things in the front room, and I'm watching football, and she's got Christmas music blaring and she's singing Christmas carols, and I'm like, shh.
I had to have the Sirius XM channel playing holiday music last night on the way to my sister's.
There you go. Kind of calms you down a little bit, right?
No, it annoyed the hell out of me, but the happy spouse runs the house.
Yes, indeed. All right, you guys, enjoy your holiday. We'll do this again next week, Monday or Tuesday at some point. And we'll do New Year's resolutions to get us ready for 2026. Breaking 2026 news tonight with Riley Allen heading to the trucks and the 2026 STEM schedule. We'll get all that up onto the socials. So, Bobby, you guys have a great holiday, man. I love you guys. And I know this year's been tougher for you. So just know that I'm thinking about you and everything. And man, looking forward to next week and a great 2026.
Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of fireworks. I went to a fireworks warehouse and got a bunch of fireworks at 70% off,
Nice.
and still spent almost $200 at 70% off. So we're gonna light up our buddy's neighborhood. So
a penny saved is a penny earned. That's right. What they always say. All right, you guys, we will catch you next week. Hashtag Real Race Talk. This has been the Revved Up Sports Show. Catch all the archives and so forth. Every social destination is at revvedupsportshow.com. Be sure and jump up on there. Since I didn't kill the stream last week, I do have to, or week before, whenever that was, I do have to ask you, did you find the aforementioned vehicle that was you and I were discussing after I forgot to turn the stream off last night?
Oh, well, my internet sucks. You cut out. I'm assuming you meant the tire.
Yes.
Yeah, we finally got that worked out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal.
It did not have the locking nut on it though. That was a good thing. But I did have to call in reinforcements. I needed somebody with a bigger air gun and a bigger breaker bar. So
nice. The nut was too big.
That's right. It was on there too damn hard. I think it was cross-threaded. So yeah.
Too thick. All right, you guys have a great week. We'll do it again next week.
Monday or Tuesday for sure.
Monday or Tuesday. You're right. Showtime Bobby Chaffee down south. I'm Rodney Rodriguez up north. Be well. Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next week on the Revved Up Sports Show.